Welcome to another Cardano update. So we are still in a 1-2 setup right here. The first wave went up into an ABC structure and it went to the 2.272 extension, which is good, but we did not really get 5 waves and we did not really manage to break above previous highs. So we are still in a downtrend right now, and we could always put in another lower low and invalidate the 1-2 setup. And by another lower low, I mean the second wave move down right here. So we could always break down. And I don't know if we will do that. I mean, it all depends on what Bitcoin does. And Bitcoin right now is pretty much going sideways. It's showing no signs that it actually wants to go down. But it could always break down, and we could always go to like 44k to test the 50% extension right here before heading in a fifth wave move up of the main third wave and before heading to 100k or so by the end of the year. So what does that mean for Cardano? Well, there are a couple of things that could happen. We could continue going sideways in the second wave move down right here, or we might break down and we might invalidate the second wave move here and then get another low in the second wave move down right here, which would put us very close to the invalidation zone at 22 cents, which is the previous bear market low. And if we do go to that level, that means we will get another bear market low, which would not be the best thing. And there's also the possibility that we start going in the third wave move to the upside right here. And if we do go in a third wave move to the upside right here, which I believe right now this is very unlikely to happen because of the Bitcoin dominance chart that I will talk about very, very soon. But if we do go to that third wave, that wave should get to at least 53 cents, which is the 200% extension of this 1-2 setup. Now, I don't know if we will do that because, we are still in a downtrend and we are still below the bull market support band. We did not manage to get above the trend line. We touched it right here, and we have not tested it yet. So maybe we'll test it again soon, but I cannot confirm that because, there's nothing really going on right now. So we have to see what happens. So to get to that third wave move, we need to go above the trend line, then above the bull market support band, and then we need to get like 53 cents, which from where we're at right now, that's like a 59% pump, which is a lot right now. And, that would also put us above the high right here, and even the high right here and right here. And that would be very, very bullish because we would break the downtrend. Now, like I said, I don't know if that will happen, because Bitcoin dominance still has not topped. And let me go on the weekly for this, I guess. Bitcoin dominance is currently at 58%. And I don't know if you watched my previous videos, but when we were at like 54% or so, I told you that Bitcoin dominance will most likely get to like 60%, and then it will start dropping. And right now, Bitcoin dominance is at a new high for this cycle. I believe the high is at about, 58.56%, so it does not look like it has topped. It could have topped. I mean, here in the last cycle when it topped, it did not get to the 0.618 level, so we could repeat that and we could get to like 59% dominance and then start dropping like crazy without getting to the 0.618 expansion, because we did that in the previous cycle. Me personally, I think Bitcoin dominance will still go up to like at least 59%. And then after it gets to 59%, if we get a huge drop like we got over here, as you can see here, Bitcoin dominance went down about 20% in 41 days. That will pretty much confirm that the all-time high is in. Now, as you can see, even though Bitcoin dominance stopped over here, it still took a couple of months to actually break down completely. And as you can see, we pretty much went sideways for like 90 days before we got this huge move. And this move was pretty crazy. We went down about another 36% in only 50 days. This is the real altcoin season, not what happened here. Now, I'm not sure if we will do the exact same thing as we did in the previous cycle. I mean, in this cycle, we might do something like this and we might just start dropping like crazy. And that makes sense because if you look at the ADA Bitcoin chart, let me pull it up. When we compare this cycle to the previous cycle, as you can see in this cycle, we have only went down. We have not had a pump on this chart. And why is that? Well, this chart is pretty much the Bitcoin dominance chart, but upside down. look at this. I mean, this is the ADA Bitcoin chart. This is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And as you can see, Bitcoin dominance went up in a straight line and ADA Bitcoin went down in a straight line. So it pretty much copied the Bitcoin dominance chart, which means that if Bitcoin dominance tops very soon, ADA could realistically do something like this after it tops and after it starts going down. I mean, it did follow Bitcoin dominance when it was going up, so ADA Bitcoin is going down when Bitcoin dominance is going up, so why would ADA Bitcoin not go up when Bitcoin dominance is going down? You know what I mean? Here we only had these pumps right here because Bitcoin dominance had them as well, and it had these dumps. In this cycle we have not really had that, and this has just been a boring climb. And like I said, if Bitcoin dominance does something like this, then Cardano is very likely to do something like this. Now, I don't know if we will break the previous all-time high right here, because as you can see, in 2021 we did not break the 2017 high, well, the 2018 high, and you know, we could get like this level in this cycle, maybe even a bit lower. It really all depends on what Cardano wants to do, and it also depends on how much Bitcoin dominance actually goes down in this cycle. If Bitcoin dominance only goes to like, let's say 44% in this cycle, which I find to be very unlikely, we will most likely get another low right here, maybe to like 37% or so. But if we only go to like 44%, then ADA Bitcoin will most likely not break its previous all-time high, which, you know, it's fine, but that does not mean that we will not get an altcoin season. We should get an altcoin season after Bitcoin dominance stops. I mean, that's what usually happens. We got one right here and we got one right here. So I don't know why it would not happen again. And don't forget, many people already gave up on the altcoin season. Many people don't believe we will get an altcoin season anymore because they were calling for an altcoin season right here and right here and right here and right here, and they did not get one. So, you know, they pretty much lost hope. And right now, when everyone is losing hope, this is when we'll actually get the altcoin season. We usually get one when nobody is really expecting it. Like we did in the previous cycle right here. I mean, crypto in January of 2021, nobody really cared about it. When did people actually start caring about crypto? It was right here when we had the altcoin season. And why is that? Well, that's because altcoins were doing a 10 to even 100x. I mean, yes, Bitcoin is still pretty popular, but when you compare its popularity to how it was over here when it was at all-time highs and it was at like 64k, I mean, when we were at 64k in the previous cycle, people were going crazy. Right now we're at 60k and people are complaining that the market is boring and that nothing is really happening. So, you know, that's why I also think we have not topped on the Bitcoin chart. And speaking of Bitcoin, do not forget, September is a very boring month for Bitcoin, and usually September is a red month for Bitcoin, and it goes down about 5 to 10% in September every year. And if we check out the Bitcoin monthly returns, as you can see, September has been a green month so far, and I don't think it's gonna close green. I think it's actually gonna close red. Now, if we do close green, then it will follow what happened in 2015 and 2016, which, you know, that could realistically happen, because it did happen previously, so you know, it could be the case that we are following what happened here, but in my opinion we will most likely close red, so be aware of that as well. However, in October I'm expecting a huge pump, and as you can see, in 2016 we had a 14% pump, and in 2020 we had a 27% pump. And why am I talking about 2020 and 2016? Well, these were both halving years. So if you take the average of 2020 and 2016, you get like 20%, which means that Bitcoin could go up like 20% in October. Now let's say we start October at like 56k, 20% up would put us at about 68k. And you know, that would not be the best thing because we'd still be going sideways, but that could start the altcoin season. And maybe we'll not only go up 20%, if we go up 27%, that would put us at 72k. And then by the time November starts, which is also a very bullish month for Bitcoin, as you can see here in 2020 it went up 43%, and in 2016 it went up about 5%. If you take the average of that, you get like I believe like 20%. So if we get like, let's say 70K by the end of October, and then we go up another 20% in November, we get to a new all-time high. Now, what I'm saying here is just speculation, and of course, Bitcoin could start doing something like this, and that would make sense as well. But do not forget, this is a video about Cardano, so I'm only talking about Bitcoin because we need some kind of pump to actually start the altcoin season. If Bitcoin continues going in the sideways range, then we will not get an altcoin season because altcoins will just bleed against it. And we don't want another low on the Cardano chart because we are very close to that 22 cents level, so you have to be aware of that as well. And most altcoins need a third wave move up, Cardano as well, and we still have not had one. And the fact that we are in a 1-2 setup and Bitcoin dominance is close to topping really makes me wonder why some people believe we will not get a third wave move up. A third wave move up right now would make the most amount of sense. Now don't forget, not all coins need to go up like crazy. So there are a few exceptions. There are a few altcoins that, last cycle for example, there were a few altcoins that did absolutely nothing when we were in an altcoin season. But even altcoins like XRP for example, even these coins went up from like 11 cents to about $1.94. Even though nothing was really going their way, they still went up because an altcoin season was happening. XRP was literally facing a lawsuit right here, and it still went up like crazy. So we'll have to see what happens with this. I'm still bullish on Cardano and on many other altcoins, but you have to be careful. If we do go below 22 cents, then I will turn bearish. So yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, check out our YouTube memberships and our Patreon if you want access to all of our charts. We also do personal altcoin analysis for Gold members, so if you want us to discover a specific altcoin for you, we can do that once a month. And if you enjoyed this video, like I said, like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.